afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Wall Street Reporter's Discovery Day live stream for today, October 15th, 2020. We have two great companies for you today. We have first up a returning presenter, Appia Energy, Tom Drivas, the CEO. This is a stock that some of you first saw at their debut here just about 10 weeks ago. The stock is up, I think, a little bit over 200% at its peak since then. It's pulled back a little bit, so here's another opportunity to get in, and we're going to find out what's next for the company. They got a lot of exciting things happening with their program, and Tom is going to be followed by Visibility Group Technologies. The CEO is Jay Hutton. Jay's got some exciting things to talk about, so stay tuned after that. And again, for those of you new to our program, our goal is to bring you companies which have 10x to 100x upside potential. Those of you who have been following our live streams for a while have seen 3 stocks just in the past 6 to 9 months that are up between 1,300 and 2,000%, and many companies up in the triple digits, too many to list here. But all of them have 3 things in common. One, they're going after big market opportunities, multi-billion-dollar market opportunities. Number 2, they have multiple catalysts in place to create that growth. And number 3 is that they're at that threshold of explosive growth, big opportunities happening. And the main thing with our live stream is that we really look forward to is having your participation. So your questions really make these events special. So please, check out the program, watch the presentation, and then please ask the CEOs your questions, because again, it's your questions that make these events special. With that said, let me turn it over to Tom. Tom, take it away.
Hi, Jack. Thank you for the opportunity to present Appia to your listeners, and thank you all for participating. Now, Appia is a clean energy company and is exploring for high-grade rare earth and uranium in Canada. During the presentation, I'll be making some forward-looking statements, so please note that and do your own due diligence, and also seek independent investment advice. We're going to be talking mostly about one of our projects, which is Alces Lake. It's a high-grade rare earth project, and which is we're exploring for, and I'd like to give you an idea of what is rare earths and what rare earths is good for. So rare earths are known as the seed of technology. It's critical for high-tech applications, energy, transportation, electric vehicles, robotics, nanotechnology, medicine, and also it has very strategic and important uses in military equipment and applications. Now, the global demand for rare earths has been growing in the last few years, about 10% a year, and it's expected to continue growing, especially with the demand and of electric vehicles. So there is primary demand for critical rare earths is for permanent magnets that again is used for electric vehicles, and the supply of rare earth is basically controlled by China. China produces about 60 to 70% of the rare earths, rare earth oxide, And they are producing and exporting about 90% of the permanent magnets. So, there is also lack for replacement. It's really hard to replace the critical rare earths and or recycle them. So we've got a situation where the world needs uh, rare earths, critical rare earths, critical material, and the supply is it primarily comes, the major supply comes from one source, which is China. Now, what happens with rare earths outside of China? A lot of the original equipment manufacturers in the US, Japan, Germany, and all over the rest of the world is looking for a long-term supply of rare earths, and they would like to see supply from outside of China for a number of reasons. For example, could be a supply disruption. One something that we all know is the virus, the COVID-19. Also, with this trade wars, the rare earths, critical rare earths, could be used as a bargaining chip. Also, recently, China, there's some news out of China that threatening to blacklist a number of companies that are basically are engaged in trade war with China. So, and especially because of the uses of the rare earths, especially in the defense industry, that has make the U.S. government worry, and they like to see a supply of rare earths in the U.S. or in other territories outside of China. So recently, Canada and U.S. have signed an MOU to cooperate in the development of the rare earth industry in North America. The U.S. Defense Department has awarded funds to a number of companies to jumpstart production of rare earths in the U.S. And as recently as a few days ago, there was a new order by President Trump that basically the order calls that there's about 35 materials, critical materials that are very critical to the U.S. Industry and economy, and they are calling that as a sort of an emergency situation. So we're looking at with Appia, we're working in Canada, and we're looking at high-grade critical rare earths. So we think this is an excellent opportunity to develop a project, a rare earth project in Canada, which is next door to the U.S. Now, what are the criteria for a viable rare earth project? Grade is number one, mineralogy is another one, composition is another one, processing facility, and radiation environmental management. So our project, Alces Lake, it meets all of these criteria. What's very important is in the past, if some other sources were developed, then China, for example, dropped the price of rare earths for a while, and it forced that facility to close. So we think it is very important to have the grade and the mineralogy and the right rare earths, so we can really compete with the competition. And we think that that Alces Lake has all this meets all this criteria. Now, Alces Lake is a project which is located in northwestern, in northern Saskatchewan. And in terms of grades, we have, you can see the table here. There's where we have the global rare earth project, our in situ total rare earth grade, wet percent rare earth grade. And the red is basically Alces Lake, which is on this table here. It looks like it's the second largest, highest grade project in the world. Now, our average grade from all the drilling that we've done and is about 16.6% total weight rare earth oxide. So, we're quite excited that this is this could be a viable, a very exciting project that can really supply, has the potential to supply the critical rare earths from North America. Just for illustration purposes, like 1 ton of ore from Alces Lake has about 165 kilograms of total rare earth oxide and about 38 kilos of critical rare earths. So we think that this could be a very viable project. Again, all of the rare earths in the from the mineralogy that we've done on Alces Lake are contained within one mineral, which is monazite, and that's very important because there are a number of other rare earth projects out there that they have the earths are containing 3 or 4 different source rocks, which means it's more costly and more difficult to extract the rare earths. And the other good thing is about monazite is the extraction technology is known. It has been established since the 1950s. So, and Alces Lake has coarse grain monazite, and it is highly unusual because we can see right on surface monazite concentrations up to 85%, which is it's rarely seen throughout the world. Now, the composition is important because there are 16 rare earths, and some of them are more pricey than others. So currently, the what we call critical rare earths are 4 of them: the neodymium, praseodymium, dysprosium, and terbium. And this is the ones that are basically used in primarily in permanent magnets, in wind mill turbines, and other applications. And our Alces Lake project has about 23 to 25% of the total rare earth oxides is our critical rare earths, and that basically will represent about 85% of the total value of all the rare earths of the basically by extracting 3 or 4 of the out of the 16 rare earths, we get about 85% of the value, and that's important. And here you can see a picture of the very tiny permanent magnet that lifts quite a bit of weight here. Now, another big factor is the processing facility for the rare earths, for the monazite. Up to now, the rare earths, the monazite was sent to China for processing. Now, in August 2020, last couple of months ago, the Saskatchewan Research Council, which is a government company, and the Saskatchewan government has provided the financing of $31 million for the SRC, the Saskatchewan Research Council, to build their own processing facility in Saskatchewan, in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So this is a first in Canada, and you know, we believe it's first in North America. So this facility is expected to be fully operational in 2020. Now, SRC has extensive experience in rare earths, and Appia has a very good relationship with SRC. They are doing all our analysis from day one on the Alces project. So we're quite excited to have the SRC facility in the same jurisdiction as we are, and we're happy to sort of work with them to process our rare earths now down the road. Now, so far, what we've seen on Alces Lake, the mineralization is right on surface or within a few meters from surface. So we think this is going to be a easy mining operation and an easy to permit operation, because it's more like not even an open pit. It's more like a quarry operation so far, what we've seen on. And especially now with the processing facility being somewhere else, where in operational, it would be far easier to move forward. Now, this is the map on the Saskatchewan basin, and Alces Lake is to the north, just outside of the map. The property is about 43,000 acres, and it's about 30 kilometers northeast of Uranium City. Uranium City had a number of operating mines in the 50s that produced uranium for the mainly for the U.S. government, and all the infrastructure is in place. We have an airstrip, we have a town, and we've got electric power and available electric power, and we have basically old gravel roads to the old mining site, halfway between Uranium City and Alces Lake. So infrastructure-wise, we think we're in a good location, and also being in around Uranium City and in Saskatchewan, where the Saskatchewan is a high-grade uranium producer. They're producing 20% uranium in Saskatchewan. They're all familiar with radioactivity and the process of this sort of development. So now the other thing that was very important as well noted is the Saskatchewan has been voted for the last 4 years as the #1 mining jurisdiction in Canada, and we certainly think that it's one of the better mining jurisdictions in the world. Now, this is a picture of the high-grade area, the zones that we have discovered in Alces Lake. As you can see, we got about 6 or 7 zones here, and they're all on surface or near surface, and we got basically grades from 8-9% to 20 or 31% on surface. So it is a very high-grade currents here. This is some pictures of monazite, massive monazite. As I mentioned before, we've shown it to geologists, and they haven't seen anything like it before. This is one of a kind. Like we've got 85% monazite with 53 weight percent total rare earth oxide, and 57% monazite right at surface concentrated. So now we have been exploring the Alces Lake project since 2017, and you know, over the 2-3 years we have discovered 74 rare earth and uranium occurrences on surface over a 45-kilometer area strike. So we think this is a large system, and we've up to date we've completed 64 short drill holes, basically about an average 20 to 50 meters, 20, 30 meters basically, for a total of 22, 2300 meters. And then we also recently completed about 14 long diamond drill holes, basically for a total of 2600 meters. So we had, in terms of intersecting the mineralized system, we had up to now we have 95% on the drill hole success ratio. So we were excited. We've only tested about 1% of the property with diamond drilling. So we see there's a lot of potential, upside potential, for this project to have substantial or significant rare earth supply. Now, from last year, basically, from drilling last year, we've had one drill hole that hit 16.06 weight percent total rare earths over 15.55 meters, and starting only at 8.7 meters down from surface. Within that, there was an intersection of 40, including 49% weight percent total rare earths over 3.7 meters, or 9.7 meters down hole. So we think that this is a very extremely high grade, and it's very exciting. Now, this year we've done another drilling program, and this was a short, in a way, short year because of COVID-19, but we were able to complete about 18 drill holes, about 2,500 meters in total of diamond drilling, and we were able to. We actually saw that we've got two sub-parallel trends here, and we were able to extend the mineralization on the drilling to about 875 meters, and it's open all directions. And we intersected the mineralized system 340 meters from down the depth from surface, which means that this is a large system, and we need to do a lot more work. In addition to that, we confirmed the extension of high-grade rare earths over 145 meters, and we also tried a number of surveys, 12 different surveys over a single line, to see if we can really image the subsurface with the geophysics, and we feel that we successfully were able to a couple of the surveys to correlate well with the drilling program. So we're excited because we can do some more surface surveys, geophysical surveys, and that will help us with future drilling. So in addition to the drilling, we had a program where we looked at the surface, extended the area that we searched for rare earths and uranium, and we were able to see, as I mentioned before, 74 surface occurrences of rare earths and uranium over 45 kilometer strike. We did see about 6 new rare earth occurrences, and we did visit one of the old uranium occurrence in the area. So we think, as I mentioned, this is a 43,000 acres. We're seeing mineralization on surface over 45 meters, 45 kilometers, and with 74 occurrences that we've seen so far, and we haven't really looked at more than 10 or 15% of the property on surface. So we think there's a lot of upside here. Now, to summarize, the Alces Lake, Equipment manufacturers outside of China are looking for a secure rare earth supply outside of China, and also that could be a good option to produce rare earths in North America. As I mentioned, U.S. and Canada has signed a cooperation agreement, an MOU, to cooperate on the development of rare earths in North America. Alces has world-class total critical rare earth grades, and the average grade is about 16% weight percent total rare earth oxide, and within that about 3.85% weight percent critical rare earths, and it is enriched in critical rare earths, which is very, very important, and we need it for economics to make it economically viable. It's coarse grain monazite, so it's easily to be processed, and monazite has a relatively simple metallurgy, and the processes of extraction is well known and understood. The mineralization is near surface, starting at surface and within 10, 20 meters so far. So we're excited. It's going to be easy to mine. We have multiple rare earth discoveries along strike. As I mentioned, we see a blue sky over 45 kilometers, and different zones and parallel sub zones, and we have access to a rare earth processing. We will have access to a rare earth processing facility in Saskatchewan, the SRC facility, which is it's a game changer for us, and we're happy that our project is located in Saskatchewan, which is one of the top mining jurisdictions in Canada and the world. Now, we do have 3 other properties in around the Athabasca Basin. It's the Loranger, the North Wollaston, and East Side. This is mainly uranium properties, and our model for exploring for uranium in that area is high grade, near surface, near infrastructure. We've done a number of exploration campaigns over there, and we are planning to continue with the exploration of these properties. We feel that the uranium is going to be in high demand because the world will need more electricity, more energy, and we think that uranium is a good source of clean energy, electric power, basically. Now, in addition to our projects in Saskatchewan, we have a large property in Ontario in Elliot Lake. With the Elliot Lake, it was a main producer of uranium, and also the only producer of rare earths, some rare earths in Canada, commercially producing rare earths in the 50s and 60s. Produced over 300 million pounds of uranium. There were a number of mines operated there. We've got the extension on some of the old mines. We do have a huge NI 4311 resource with in uranium and rare earths, but under current uranium prices and rare earth prices, we feel that they're not sort of economically viable at this point, but we see this more as a call on uranium and rare earth prices. And we're also, it's very important because the Elliot Lake has all the infrastructure in place, road, power, even natural gas in the properties here, and very close to a uranium refinery facility. It's a huge historical resource in Elliot Lake. So the resources can be increased. We feel they can be increased relatively inexpensive, with further exploration based on the past drilling that was done by a number of other companies before us. Now, in terms of Appia, we're a public company. We're trading at CSE and in OTC QB, and our share price currently is around 36, 37 Canadian cents. We've got about outstanding shares right now. We currently have about 79.7 million shares. There's some options outstanding, about 5 million share option. Average stock price for option is 28 cents Canadian. We have some warrants that are worth average. Again, exercise prices at 28 cents. In the recent weeks, we've seen a lot of those warrants being exercised. So we're getting some fresh additional money into the company. And fully diluted, our shares are 97.8 million shares. We have our market cap right now is about $29 million, and we've got a cash of $1.7 million. The enterprise value of about 27 million, and the management, including myself, have about 42% of the shares ownership. I know the management, including myself, have added to their positions. In the last financing, we acquired bought some shares. I personally invested about $140,000 in the financing, and we're hoping and we're excited that this could be a very lucrative opportunity for us and our shareholders. Just for comparison purposes, you've probably heard that MP Materials is a company that is going to be public shortly in the New York Stock Exchange. They will have a perceived valuation of $1.5 billion US dollars. Our market cap right now is basically less than 2% of theirs. Now, this company is a lot more advanced than us with resource and they're in production. So we think that if we're successful in coming up with a high-grade resource in Alces Lake, rare earth resource, we could be, we could see a lot of upside for the shareholders. Now, management has about our total management experience here, and industry experience is over 260 years. So we've been in the business, in the mining and business for quite a long time. So we think that we got the management expertise to move this project forward. Our exploration is our VP of exploration is James Sykes. He's a very successful geologist. In the last 10 years, he has contributed in discoveries of over 550 million pounds of uranium in the Athabasca Basin. He worked with a number of uranium companies in the area. So our exploration program is headed by a well successful and respected geologist in the area. So again, investment summary. We have Alces Lake is a world-class project, a rare project property. We got amongst the highest total rare earth oxide grades that have ever been discovered. Management with over 200 years experience. enriched. Our mineralization there is enriched in critical rare earths, neodymium, praseodymium, basically, which is the magnet, the permanent magnet rare earths that are used for. And we have significant. We feel we have significant exploration upside. We're in Saskatchewan in the prolific Athabasca Basin, and we're basically debt free, and run our exploration is run by award-winning geologists. So we've got a couple of tables here that they go with the presentation, and I'd like to point out our presentation is on our website, and also there's a lot more information, news releases, filings. We recently filed our statements and financial statements, and also, there's a lot of information on the government site, www.cdar.com. So I think the presentation is all done.
Okay, Tom. Tom?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. We're running a little bit late, so we're going to have time for just one question. I know you tend to get a lot of questions that come in once the video goes on YouTube. I think a lot of the shareholders, they're in a different time zone. So the question here is from Jamie. He's asking, what is the timeline for Elliot Lake projects to get more attention, understanding that the Saskatchewan properties come first?
The timeline for Elliot Lake is basically it's subject to the market conditions, like to the commodity prices. Right now, uranium is around $30 a pound, and not a lot of deposits, a lot of projects are making any money at these prices. So we like to see much higher uranium prices and obviously some higher rare earth prices, and that is very difficult to foresee.
Okay.
But we've done enough work on our project that we can keep the project in good standing without actually spending any money for the next 8-10 years, and we view this as an upside, the call on uranium and rare earth prices basically at this point.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, Tom, thank you for joining us once again, and we look forward to hearing some news coming from you in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I also forgot to mention that the results from the drilling from this summer drilling are pending, and they should be forthcoming in the next few weeks. So we'll have some results from the drilling that we've done soon.
Fantastic. Okay, Tom, thank you again.